Today we're going to go over how I like to glue up my cutting boards that contain many slats of varying thicknesses. The first thing I need to do is number each slat so I know the order to put them back in. I'll now lay them out from thickest to thinnest, as well as putting corresponding reference numbers under each piece. Adding these reference numbers makes each piece much easier to find. With my cutting board dimensions in mind, I'll now set up my parallel clamp blocks. These blocks will allow me to apply clamp pressure on 4 sides of the cutting board. This will help me prevent any wandering of the slats while they're under clamp pressure. The result is a very square glue up. And for some clamp protection, I like to add a little masking tape before the glue up. I tell ya, there's nothing worse than chipping off dry glue from clamps. I've said it before, and I'm happy to say it again. It's always super important to run a dry glue up before you do the actual thing. It doesn't take much time at all, and it gives you peace of mind that all your clamps and cawls are set up in the right positions. And from here, it's go time. I'll place all of my boards back at the glue station, again, from thickest to thinnest. Arranging the slats from thickest to thinnest keeps the surface area consistent and linear. This allows the roller to maintain even contact. It's super important to preload the roller prior to the glue up, because if you don't, all you'll do is remove glue from the workpiece rather than apply it. Keeping the orientation of each piece in mind, I'll go through and flip every single slat, and then reapply glue to the back side again. I find this method makes for a much better bond. And because I went through and numbered each piece, I now know where to find every piece and what order to put them back in. Pre-numbering each slat in each piece is a huge time saver, and when you're doing glue-ups like these, time is not necessarily on your side. When it's warm and dry, like it is in my shop this time of year, the glue tends to tack up pretty quick. So it's important to take all of these steps to minimize the time spent with the glue exposed to the air. And from here, it's clamp time. With the horizontal clamps in place, preventing any lateral movement, I'll apply the main parallel clamps and put them under full pressure. When you see the glue beading out like this, it's a good indication that you did it right. At this point, the lateral pressure is no longer needed, so I'll remove the cawls and those clamps. Then I'll spritz the entire surface with water and wipe the entire thing down. This accomplishes 2 things. It first removes all the little nubs that will eventually dry and be a pain to remove, but it also fills in any little gaps that may be present. It's the next day, and now we reveal our handiwork. Hey, if you like this video, don't be shy. Like, subscribe, and share with all your friends and family. Thanks for watching.